When we live on the surface of our being, we act and react based on the pressure that circumstances and relationships exercise upon us. We are a mass of instincts, habits, and trained responses that form a distinct ego personality with which we tend to identify. While we tend to believe that we have free will and control our own decisions and destiny, we generally fail to recognize that we are actually the product of a chain of cause and effect that very much determines how we actually respond. Sages throughout history have recognized the inconsistencies of our belief in free will and the fixed manner in which we respond based on the forces that have shaped us. They have recognized that our surface personality is not our true being. They have counseled us to know thyself. Whether they raise the question, who am I, as Sri Ramana Maharshi so eloquently has done, or they take overt steps to abandon all attachment to the external life we normally lead, or provide the seeker with insights and openings to a deeper understanding of his true self, such as was illustrated in the Taittiriya Upanishad with the method of tapasya set forth there, or followed any of the other innumerable ways to free oneself from the bondage of the outer life and achieve realization of the spiritual truth of existence, they all pose the same issues for us to solve. Who are we? Why are we alive? What are we here to do? What is the meaning and significance of our lives? These questions nag at us at times in our everyday lives until we finally take them up and try to unravel the mystery of our existence and the existence of the universal creation. Sri Aurobindo and the Mother have taken up these questions and provided a way of understanding and a method for progress in finding and applying the solutions we find. They do so by showing us the complex and multiple different selves that make up what we believe to be a unified external personality. In fact, we are not so simple and not so unified in our being. There are conflicting drives and forces at work which create internal conflict and, in many cases, defeat us in the achievement of our highest goals and aspirations. By understanding this complex makeup of our being, we are able to find a path to liberation from this bondage without, at the same time, having to totally abandon all action in the world. Our Many Selves, Practical Yogic Psychology, compiled by Dr. A.S. Dalal from the writings of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother, is an extremely useful text to aid us in this process of self-discovery and self-actualization. It is a benefit to spiritual seekers regardless of the specific path followed, as it is not based on any particular religious or philosophical dogma. At the same time, the deeper understanding provided by this text can aid even those who are not actively and consciously practicing yoga for the sake of self-knowledge or self-realization, as it will help each individual work through the pressures, the internal debates, and inner conflicts that frequently impact the individual's ability to act and succeed in their intended goals, even when they are purely based on fulfilling the external personality. If we can understand the forces that bring us to feeding addictions, procrastinating, living an unhealthy and imbalanced lifestyle, sabotaging our relations with others, then we can begin to achieve a more harmonious and successful life, however we choose to define success. Dr. Dalal states, quote, "This book is meant to bear out Sri Aurobindo's oft-quoted statement, Yoga is nothing but practical psychology. Generally, yoga is viewed as made up of certain set practices and certain rules and norms pertaining to one's outer life. In contrast to this view, Our Many Selves presents yoga as consisting essentially in inner psychological work aimed at the transformation of consciousness. End quote. Reference Sri Aurobindo and the Mother, Our Many Selves, Practical Yogic Psychology.